Hello everyone, Jeff with a Green Review. Windows kill tens of millions, hundreds of millions of birds in North America every year. Just like this Swainson's thrush. They hit windows because they can't see the glass. They don't understand windows. This Swainson's thrush did not hit this window. It hit a window that I can't use for the demonstration, but it reminded me that I need to give this talk. Birds hit windows in the daytime and in the nighttime. In the daytime, they hit windows because they can see right through them. They can see the greenery on the other side. Or, depending on how the window is set up, they can see a reflection of the trees that are behind them as they fly towards the window. Birds are used to flying and making quick decisions to go through little gaps. Here's a little bit of blue. There's a little space in between the branches there. They see that in the window. They don't see the window. They see the little gaps and things, and that's what they're heading towards. And so they hit the window. And sometimes they don't die immediately. Sometimes you'll find a big stain on the window where you'll be able to count all the feathers and see the wings and the face of the bird that hit there. And it flies away. Sometimes you'll find a bird on the ground next to the window or next to the building, and it's just breathing heavy. You can see the body moving. You can see the eyes slowly going shut and opening up because it's kind of drifting in and out of consciousness. So you'll find birds like that you need to protect from cats and people and other animals that it might be out in the landscape. And so you don't want to pick them up because that's adding to the stress. You just want to fence off the area or wait for the bird to either succumb or to fly away and make sure that the bird stays safe. If you pick it up, you're adding a lot more stress. And then if you put it into a box or something that now it's even trapped in a more difficult place, and if you bring it indoors and it wakes up and it flies around, then you've got a bigger problem. So you're better off just leaving it outside. Now there's several things you can do to make your windows less of a problem. You can reduce the reflections by adding different materials to the outside. You can make the spaces look smaller by adding tapes and strings and nets on the outside. If you try to do something on the inside, typically it won't work because the glass is reflective on the outside. It may stop the view through, but it won't stop that reflection part. So there is a possibility of using tempera paint and using soap to make marks on the outside to try to make it less, a view that you would want to fly through. You can use stickers on the outside. You can use the American Bird Conservancy has a tape that you can buy that sticks on and you can cut into pieces and make a grid pattern that will help the birds see that there's a window there. You can get Kaleidoscape, which is a film that can be put on the outside of the window. They have a clear version that actually has little reflective materials built into it so that we see through it. It's kind of fuzzier, it's not less in focus, but it does block the birds from wanting to go through. And they have tinted versions, they have colored versions, so you can make signage or whatever you'd want out of it. You can put netting, you can stretch netting over the glass in a way that from the outside it is visible. From the inside it's still visible if you look at it, but not visible if you look through it. Your eyes just kind of go right on through, like a window screen kind of idea. You don't see the screen very often unless you're looking for it. You look through it. And so there's netting available that you can do that. And then of course you could put screens on some of the windows that maybe are the most difficult for the birds. Every house has some windows that never get birds to hit them and some windows that get the birds all the time. And those are the windows you really need to protect. Now, the birds that we often see hitting windows are a lot of times the low ground dwelling birds or the low vegetation birds, the cardinals, the thrushes, the robins, the sparrows, some of the warblers that are low versions of some are high versions, some are low versions. Now the nighttime birds are hitting high rises a lot because as they're migrating they see the light and they head towards the light, and they if it's foggy or if it's cloudy, the tall buildings can create a glow and the birds a lot of times will fly in circles around the building and either collide into each other, collide into the building, or just become exhausted and collapse. There's a group called FLAP in Toronto, Canada that is spreading the word on the nighttime problems for the birds and is doing a very good work in helping a lot of people understand how buildings should be built and lit up at night. So if you find that your house has windows that get hit a lot, you should try one of the different deterrence methods to try to stop the collisions. And you don't have to protect every window in your house, but just those that get the birds more often. And this is Jeff with a Green Review. Thanks for watching.